This is a very difficult game. We've got a very small ball, and the only way this ball is going to fly up in the air is if we get the leading edge of the club hitting somewhere underneath the equator of the ball. Now, to do that, we need to have control of two critical factors. Number one, your body stability relative to the ball. Woo! And number two, great eye-to-ball coordination. Oh, and that was struck. So how do we get control of those two factors? As my father would have said in his inimitable way, keep your bloody head still. You know, the first golf book I ever read as a kid was by the greatest golfer of all time, Golf My Way by Jack Nicklaus. And two pictures in that book stood out in my head and influenced me from a very early age. Number one was a picture of young Jack and Jack Grout hanging onto his head as he was hitting balls, trying to keep him central relative to the ball. And Jack Nicklaus on the next page describing himself, how central his head would stay from start to strike to hit the ball consistently. If the best golfer in the world was thinking about keeping his head still, there's got to be something in it, right? Now, the body position relative to the ball, trying to keep that stable, is the be-all and end-all of consistent strike. So from start position to strike position, let me show you from the other angle, start position, strike position, and if I can keep my body stable and central to the ball, then I should be able to strike the ball consistently. But the head is a much easier reference point. We have much more awareness of where our head is in space, rather than, for example, where the chest is or the bottom of the back is in space. Proprioception. So if we keep the head still from start to strike, then the body position will stay more still relative to the ball, and we have a chance of hitting the ball underneath the equator. We're minimizing excess body movement by turning around the axis. The feeling of the head staying still from start to strike will bring us back to our start position. So if I keep the head still, start to strike, the club has more chance of bottoming out in the right place at the ball or just beyond the ball. If I move the head, for example on the backswing, a right, then the low point is behind the ball. I've got a lot of work to do to get back to the ball consistently. Very difficult to do. The other common problem is moving up and right on the backswing. So a great attempt to turn, but we've moved the body out of position. The low point is now high and behind the ball, and somehow on the downswing, I've got to get it left and down and back to the ball again. Again, very difficult to repeat. Less common, but still the cause of some fat shots, is moving the head position or body position down relative to the ball. The low point is going to go underneath the ball from there, and so we need a corresponding compensation, either moving up or shortening the arms or something to try and hit the ball. Very difficult to do consistently. So key of keeping the body still is keeping the head still from start to strike to get the low point in a consistent place. But people, we are mere mortals, not robots. How on earth can we stay absolutely centimetre for centimetre relative to the ball stable while we're trying to swing this club around your head and create some speed? It also needs eye-to-ball coordination to get consistently striking underneath the equator of the ball. So how do we keep our head still, and how do we build our eye-to-ball coordination for consistency of strike? Woo! All right, so let's give you 3 exercises to give you head and body stability relative to the ball for consistent strike and to build your eye-to-ball coordination. Now, the anatomy of keeping your head still is on the backswing. Basically, the body has to move left and down to stay still, side bend and forward bend. And if we do that, then the head can stay still. Have you got a chance of feeling that? We talked about proprioception. Much more easy to feel what your head is doing in space than what your body is doing in space. So obviously, I come to the Blitzschutzhütte, in German, the thunderstorm hut where we shelter from the storms, to show you how to keep your head still, build your awareness. So we're just going to use the door frame stick our head in the door, and as the great Jack Grout, Jack Nicklaus's coach, would do, hold his head on the backswing, was just to basically keep your head in contact with the door frame. Now again, in effect, the body is side bending, the body is forward bending, but just by keeping the head in position in space is making me rotate around that central axis, giving me much more chance of bottoming out in the right place. All right, second exercise, and really developing your eye to ball coordination, is what I call hit some small shit. So get some broken tees or some twigs, and if we can, with a full swing, hit these away, then by the time we come to the ball, it's going to be a piece of cake to get underneath the equator. Easy game. Eye to ball coordination, eye to ball coordination. If you're enjoying the video, remember to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get more free tips to help your golf game from golf yourself to life. Oh, Tiger, I've got it. Oh! And the third exercise, and arguably the most powerful of the three, is to keep your eyes on the logo that's faced towards the target. It's helping to keep your body stability and building your eye to ball coordination. So I'm going to put the golf time around the front, aiming towards the target. So if I make a bad move, if my head moves too far off to the right or up, I can no longer see the logo. So if I keep my eyes on the logo, and I'm able to keep my eyes on the logo, then the head stayed still, the body stayed more central to the ball, and I'm actually focusing on a point where I really want the low point to be, just after the strike of the ball. Okay, so here we go. Eyes on the logo from start to strike. Oh, and that was struck. Yeah.